How they're doing how?
Okay, title sends you an email and it says, you have an email HOA violation. Click here. And you got to click there, right?
Okay.
And then you have to like verify your identity. But if you're not on a computer, it like doesn't work on your phone. So then you have to like go to the computer to try and give it to your client. And then, most of the time they're just mundane documents, right?
Yeah, something stupid.
Like the one I just got was like literally like a Word document that says.
So they send you an email with a link to a portal account to go in and re-download the documents instead of just sending you
the PDF.
The link with the PDF.
And the PDF that I had to go through that work to get and tell the owner about, right?
Yeah.
Just was literally a Word document from Power Ranch, and all it said on it was that the owner needs to paint. Awesome. Nothing specific about what needs to be painted or what part of the house.
Yeah.
The inside, the outside, the attic. How the I know?
So you go through all of that work to read the letter just so that you have to call them anyway and figure out what actually the problem is. Like, what was the point of any of it?
And you can't even, like, share that PDF from, like, when you open it up, right? You have to, like, download it onto your phone.
It doesn't work mobile either.
It's
so, like,
terrible.
You can't, yeah, it's not optimized. But that's
what is this for?
That's what there's a ton of, I feel like, companies that jump onto the apps train or they're using these, like, software. They're not optimized, though. They're just, like...
They're encrypted.
And they sell them as like being simple to use and easy and like helps make your business easier. But maybe it is for you, but it doesn't mean it's making it easier for your clients or the people that you're are trying to hire you or any of that stuff.
Which would be ideal, right? That's why we have like e-sign and transaction desk so that like our clients can get an email from us when they're out like fishing or at a wedding and they can just click through and sign
on their phone.
Totally.
Mobile.
Very easy, goes to their email address, and then we're like the gatekeeper that gives it to the title company. But instead, they're like optimizing everything so that it's convenient for them.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense.
Optimized on the one end, but not all ends for everybody.
Why wouldn't you just optimize for your customers?
Well, and I don't know. It doesn't make sense in the first place because you have like happy customers obviously just makes your job easier.
Repeat business,
convenience,
right? Everything.
One convenience is everything. I mean, if you can't, just like you were saying, I want to send my client some paperwork to get signed or that they need to review or anything like that. I shouldn't have to drive all the way to the office to get onto or all the way back home to get on my computer, to open up a link, to open up the portal, to sign in, to download the PDF, to email it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I should just be able to go on my phone, forward email with that PDF link to my clients. Boom, there we go. Now they can see it.
I get it. Okay, if it's like wiring instructions or something.
Something
it's
important,
like secure where they don't want that out there because there's like wire fraud. But we're talking about just very mundane documents. So like we've got little kids. I'm at the park. We're flying their little drones. Okay, now I got to go home and check this totally email.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. And all to just do a bunch of extra work that would have been unnecessary if it was actually optimized the way it should be for today. How today works, right? Like if they just sent you the PDF link. And there's still secure ways to do that. And there's all sorts of companies and software that do work that way. Transaction desk, right? I can get on my phone, can log on my transaction desk on my phone.
Totally.
I can set up a document with the signatures, send it to my clients. I can set the signing order so that I have to sign as well. And it'll send it to them, they sign, pops it right back to me as soon as they sign. I click one thing, it's signed on my phone, I'm done. And I could have done it all from my car in 5 minutes.
We could do it with leases too, right? Through Appfolio. You can convert them to a tenant, you can send the lease out, all the addendums, all the prorations.
Even most of that stuff doesn't have the sensitive information you'd be worried about. It doesn't have bank account information, doesn't have your social, doesn't have anything that you'd be worried about. Exactly. So the encrypted, the whole, it's a lot safer.
I'm all about title, they're the best. You know why? Because you go to their office and it's nice.
Yeah.
The people are normal.
No bullshit.
Right. No shitty portals for me to log into and hate myself. And you can call them on the cell phone, which is amazing. Some title reps make you go through like the system.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like emails and
stuff like our title rep. I can call her and she answers her cell phone.
And she actually answers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a concept.
Big fan, dude.
What a concept.
Right.
It's crazy how in the real estate world, just answering your phone will get you so many fans. because so many people don't answer the phone. The amount of agents
I don't understand why they don't.
It's your whole business.
How could you be a realtor and not just like answer your phone?
And even like spam calls.
I don't answer those.
Well, now I feel like property management. Now I have so many leads on like Zillow and blah blah and all that stuff.
You gotta get a fucking iPhone, man.
I know.
I keep telling you that, but iPhones, they say it like report spam or potential spam.
It'll say potential spam. It will tell me that, but the thing is, sometimes I've answered those, and it has been like a Zillow lead or something like that, doing that automated call thing.
But a creepy person, probably.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like I don't want to be missing out on leads because I'm not answering the calls just because it says spam. And now that it's done that a couple times, I don't know when to trust it, right? Because I'm like, sometimes it is just a robocaller, and I just hang up. But sometimes it's like, crap, that it looks like it might be one of the Zillow numbers.
I get enough calls that, like, literally, if it says a possible spam, I don't fucking answer it, man.
There are plenty of those that I'll just, like, nope.
If your phone is so shady and you want to rent a house that your phone says potential spam when you call people, sorry, I'm not renting to you.
I do the same thing for restricted or blocked numbers when they call you and it's like, restricted. I'm like, well, I don't know who you are.
Is that some form of fair housing violation I just said? That I now segregate or steer people or... restrict them from renting to me because their Verizon says potential spam?
I don't think that could be fair housing.
Could be.
You think?
Oh yeah, everything's fair housing.
It's a good question. That's true.
Everything's racist.
That's the problem with basing things off of like morality and not laws. That there's too much gray area in a lot of that. Like anybody at a certain level can view it differently and think that like one person might not think it's offensive and the other person might.
Right.
Because it's then all based off of personal morals. But like
you can have an emotional support alligator, which makes total sense. Right?
Yeah, I could talk about that all day.
Fair housing's broken as hell, man.
I could talk about the emotional because I dealt with that in the restaurant industry as well, and the amount of abuse of like there are so many people who actually need service animals that are hindered every day because of all the people trying to take advantage of the emotional support animal thing. Like they're two entirely separate things. In the law of the eyes, like an emotional support animal in Arizona, you can go online and get a certificate in like 5 minutes and pay $20. A service animal has to go through like training, legit training. Has to go through a licensed company. Has to have paperwork.
It has to have like abilities.
It's a
bark
process.
When you're having a seizure. It's like a well-trained animal.
But it's also it's a whole process. They have very specific
there's trainers and like schools, and you have to have like a certified ability to be able to have these animals that are like service animals. But then there's somebody walking around with a dog in a stroller. That's my pet peeve too. Just saying. Well, dogs in strollers.
Like I said in the restaurant.
Why would you get a dog that you have to push around in a stroller?
It's not even the stroller. We get them on the handbags. That's what we would get. We get the old lady. Purpose? The old lady comes in with her toy poodle in her like purse, like hanging out, just chilling in there.
What does that dog have to live for?
He's not nothing. They live in that purse.
They obviously don't play catch. So like that's like 50% of what you can do with a dog.
Right? Yeah.
Catch
is play with it. Yeah.
And scary. They were wolves at one point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's in a stroller. That's talking about like selective breeding to the mass, dude. Are you kidding me?
Well, we've done that to so many breeds.
I know.
Dogs. Like pugs, right? Like I do love pugs. I think they're cute.
Super
cute.
Always and they can walk, so it's okay with me.
Yeah, but like that snout, like we bred that snout into them, and now they've talked about how now they're trying to actively reverse that breeding out of them because it's now the ones
killing them.
It is. They literally are.
Same with English bulldogs,
they can't
French bulldogs. Those
Yeah.
Frenchie dogs. My sister has 2 Frenchies. They're so annoying, dude.
And like they can't. They're super cute, and I loved. I'm a huge dog person, huge animal person in general.
They just
but
die
like,
from sleep apnea.
Yeah, and it's nobody's. It's not even their. Like they can't help that. We've bred them to be like that. Unfortunately, you know.
I'm a big fan of boxers.
Yeah.
It's my favorite dog. We
Boxers
finally got something different than a boxer because I only ever had boxers.
Yeah.
A golden doodle.
How's that going?
It's terrible.
Golden doodles have a lot of energy too, don't they?
He is the opposite of energy filled.
Oh, really?
He's like, we took him to puppy school and he wouldn't get up to do any of the puppy school stuff. He just lays there. Still, he just lays there. So it's like, okay.
Doesn't want to do any of it.
They tried to make boxers into like the next version of German Shepherds in World War II.
Yeah.
They tried to make them look really buff and scary looking and like mean and strong. And they ended up with like the opposite.
Yeah.
Just like a lap dog.
I don't think I've ever seen a boxer
70 pounds.
I've never seen one that isn't just a giant.
And terrified of everything.
They think they're Chihuahua size, and all they want to do is be in your lap.
Yeah, and when people ring the doorbell, they hide under the bed and shit.
Yeah, they're total fraidy cats. They're just like that. They're that. There's another dog breed that's kind of like that. I was trying to think of. I lost it, but it's the exact opposite of what they're supposed to be. Yeah, Great Danes, very much the same. I had dated a girl in high school who they had Great Danes, kind of the same, like almost always Great Danes, never really any other kind of dog.
Date a girl with a Great Dane, try and get in bed with her. There's no room.
I was dating her. The one that they had was just the cutest dog in the world, massive.
Be good to go camping with though.
Giant.
Be good to go camping.
I don't do it. Like scared of everything. You know,
like having one of those like insulated heaters.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, he'd be great for that. They'd warm up that tent. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I mean.
For sure.
Just like push them in there, and you'd be like,
But you like drop something too hard and make too loud of a noise. I think it's kennel cowering. It's just like, dude, you can fight a bear. What are you scared?
And they're all clumsy and stuff. Yeah. I feel bad for them because they die so young. Like 8, and they get all like rickety.
Well, and their hips get so bad. It's kind of weird though, right? That I feel like that's got to be something with the breeding. Like, how is it?
Size. Size. Like their growth plates are overextended.
But do wolves in nature have that same hip problem? Because
no.
Right?
Wolves are the way they're supposed to be, right? They're running around.
And that's the point, I guess. Like they haven't been genetically changed over years and years of selective breeding and human interaction and that kind of stuff.
Breeding patterns where you're trying to just get a wolf as giant as you can be.
Almost every other animal on the planet is four-legged, and you don't ever hear about other species having hip problems because that's how they're naturally supposed to be. Oh, look, there we go, Jace.
Oh,
so wow. Use it for, baby.
Let's just call you Jamie?
It's Jamie, yeah.
Rogan, yeah. Oh, so nice.
Hey, Jamie, can you pull up how long Great Dane's lifespan is? Thanks.
Mm-hmm. You got a new house? Where did that new couple or that owner that you have other houses for buy?
They got in Gilbert this time, thank God. And that's the one that I was just doing the property management for.
What are you going to run it for?
Kind of debating. I was waiting for his pictures to come back, but
pull up that address, Chase. What is it? That's the one that just closed?
That's it.
That's a nice house.
It's super nice. It doesn't have a pool. I was wrong about the pool. I'm thinking I got too much stuff going on. But look, like he's pointing out right now, right? Look how close you are.
Oh, I know.
Look at
zero lot lines, bro.
Space. There is no in that.
When was it built? 2021.
Jay, scroll up to the description area. I think it was 20. It's definitely new-ish.
You know why they did that?
Well, it was the
code requirement of space in between the condensing unit and the wall. They were building those side walls as narrow as they could so they could just bang up as many houses as they could during like 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah. So my guess, 2021 it was built? It's on there, right?
I think you're right. Yeah, 2020. Oh, 2023.
Boom.
Well, that's when it was listed for sale, so yeah, probably built 22, 21. Right in that
they just did zero lot lines, and they were making people like basically come in, put down $20,000, and they'd get a spec home without being able to choose.
Yeah,
terrible.
No, they were going up like crazy during
looks like
COVID.
Oh, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
That's a nice pool, though.
Is that another one in that neighborhood? Yeah. Look how many there are for rent.
Although I found out though when we bought my house that travertine around the pool sucks because it's slippery as hell.
Travertine around.
Yeah, that's travertine right there. It gets slippery as hell.
When it gets wet, yeah.
The kids slip, eat shit all the time. I feel bad for them.
It looks good though.
It does.
Looks really good, but yeah, you don't.
But when your kids are like cracking their head up on the side, it's not.
Well, that's the last thing you want in a rental house because you're gonna get. Someone will try.
No, we addendum that away, bro.
I know, but someone will still try, dude. They'll still try.
Addendum that away. I was trying to talk to Bobby about this case I got going. It's nuts, man. Okay, so remember my buddy? He did the ACs for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Right, we sold him a house in March. He had to sell his old house for a divorce or whatever. We did the inspection report. Put on the Binzer that we wanted to fix the roof. Outlined in the inspection report what was wrong with the roof, the leaks, blah, 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 blah. The big rain the other day. He calls me up like freaking out. He gets home from Vegas, and there's like buckets of water coming in through the roof, right?
Okay.
So the agent was the owner. He listed it for sale, sold it to us, agreed to the Binzer, like showed us the email to the roofer, right?
Okay.
Saying that they were going to do all the repair requests in the roofing area of the inspection report.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of it. They lied. Awesome. They just went up there and they sprayed UV coating on it to cover it up and hide it.
I thought they could actually get away with it.
And there's like massive amounts of like water damage that was already underneath that, like dry rot in the wood. So they like literally went in and put foam on top of it to hide it.
Didn't fix a single thing.
No.
What company?
The company that did the roof?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was like 911 Fix My Roof or something.
Something, one of those.
So he's been trying to chase him down from the ROC. I've been trying to chase down the agent just to be like, dude, you sold it. You agreed to this in the Binzer. You gave me an email telling me that it would fix everything according to the Binzer. You told us that it was done by the close of escrow. I mean, in hindsight, okay, I probably should have got our own roof inspection, but we had to close within like 15 days because he closed on his other house.
Yeah.
And the house he was under contract on fell through.
And do you think that might be part of why they like rushed it? They're like, oh, we know they're not going to check.
No, I think it was just deceit, straight up.
Do you think? And I mean, I guess you're still waiting to hear from the other agent. But do you think that he knew about that, or do you think that company said they would do the job?
He hasn't answered any of my phone calls, and the roof contractor hasn't answered any, and no email responses from either the agent or the roofer. So my guess is they probably knew something. Because if you called me, I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where I can see, like, as an agent, you hire a vendor, you trust them to go out and do the job. If the vendor goes up there and doesn't do the job they said they're going to do, yes, I hired them, but like, but if the agent knew,
so like, that's a whole other story. If I would have used my roofer, right, if it was my listing, they would have like been like, oh, okay, come back and do it. I would have called the roofer and had him go and do the work we promised in the contract because it's like what you have to do.
Well, and also the aftermath of if they find out.
Yeah, how do you sleep at night if you do shit like that?
Well, I wouldn't. And obviously, some people can. But B, when they catch it, everything's so much worse.
I mean, maybe. What if he's just could be?
You think there's no repercussion for not doing what was on the Binzer? Because, well, then what makes a Binzer even... What makes it binding then, right?
That's why I got to get Abel involved.
Because then what's the point? If you can sign a Binzer and lie...
I've got documentation from the agent on the Binzer. I got the inspection report outlining it. I've got other roofers who've inspected it and outlined the damage and shown the extent of it.
Like, here's the actual proof.
So it's like... That's not how you spell Binzer, but...
BINSR.
What?
Jamie.
Yeah, we know the law.
BINSR. It's an acronym. Buyer Inspection Seller something report. BIN.
How old are you, Jay?
SR. Right there. It was sitting right. Yep, there it is. BINSR. Take the E out. There you go. Bam.
Jace, how old are you?
It keeps auto-correcting it on him.
Binzer, BINSR.
Do all caps, BINSR.
Binding is when the fuck both parties sign it. Duh, like everything else in real estate.
BINSR. Perfect.
Jace, how old are you?
There you go.
Isn't he getting his real estate license? He should be telling us this shit verbatim. Yes. When the buyer delivers their notice and the seller agrees or says no.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be binding, but like you're saying here, if you catch them that they've lied and they haven't done it after the fact and the sale's gone through, it's
an avoidable contract.
So he should be able to just...
Or he's going to plead ignorance, which is tough to catch people on. Jace, how old are you?
That is hard.